Hey, so if you're watching this, I have more than likely probably sent you this video. And if I haven't, welcome. Welcome to Project Journey. This is, I guess, essentially my own little personal project on becoming a game developer. So I guess I'll introduce myself. My name is Sam. I'm 29, and as of 2 or 3 days ago, I just graduated college with a 2 year degree in like web and multimedia development. I think, yeah, web and multimedia development. And when I started school, I was going to get that 2 year degree and then go into the workforce, work a little bit, and I was going to work a little bit and then go back to school and eventually work my way up into becoming a real game dev. But I personally think it's because of all the crap with the AI, but because all the layoffs, and I think I saw somewhere where like 50% of the development market has been cut because of AI. Why would you hire a human being when an AI can do it for free? But it's probably other things, and just the amount of time it took me to get it done. But there was only two people who graduated under that degree, me and some other guy. So I've been thinking, as I was getting close to graduating, I had figured that I was going to have to do it myself. And I realize that's a super scary endeavor. Um, and I don't know where to start. So, I mean, I guess a little more about me. Um, I've always wanted to make games since I was like 4. And, I don't regret going to school. I just regret taking so long. And, I mean, maybe I'll get into that at another time, maybe not. But, like I said, I realize that I'm probably just going to have to take the plunge and do it myself. That, I'm not going to be able to sign up for a job that will get me down working down the road. And, I'm so full of stories and cool ideas, at least, ideas I think are cool. Um, that I just really want to make something. But again, I don't know where to start. But I do have an idea of what I want to do. So we're just gonna call this Project Journey. The game, the process, the channel, um, all of that and such. But the game I have an idea in my head. Is a kind of a parkour game. Um, a kind of a mix between, you know, maybe Sonic, Need for Speed, just Need for Speed games in general, racing games. Split Second on the PlayStation 3, if you've ever played that. I know that's kind of a hidden gem. And a really old racing game that was taken offline maybe almost 20 years ago now, I think, called Free Jack. Fun fact on that, though, I did remember hearing years ago about a revival of some sort. Um, and I didn't think too much of it because I think I heard, again, this is unverified, but I think I heard it was going to be a Japanese thing, like they were going to revive it over in Japan, and whatever. I was looking up some gameplay footage for it, to which I have a fancy green screen here. We're going to use it because I've always wanted to use a green screen. I'm going to check and see if I'm not okay. Uh, Green screen. I looked up some, I was looking up some gameplay to have in the background for this effect. But I found videos of gameplay that's not that old, like 1 or 2 years old. Turns out there was a playtest on Steam back of May of 2024 of like the revival project of Free Jack. So if you want to know what game I kind of sort of have in mind of making, go look it up. I will put on some old gameplay because the 15-year-old gameplay is still up there. I think I'm going to fall in love with this green screen. I'm going to put up some newer gameplay from the playtest that you can find on YouTube as well. I can't wait to use this green screen. Can you tell? And maybe I'll just put a random image. Godspeed on whatever image I choose. But that's kind of the idea of what I had in mind. I'm excited. I'm apprehensive, and I'm all of that, and scared. But I'll get into that in a second, because I just don't know what to do. And this is something I've always wanted to do. This is, it's one of those feelings you get when you think about what I want to do. I have to do this. It's in me. It's like a bug. But yeah, no, I that's something I've always wanted to do. Just kind of like a simple, my baby's first game to simply just have. And, what I'm scared most of is the engine. So I'm going to be using the Godot engine. Why? Because I've heard of it before. And two, because Cruelty Squad was made on the Godot engine. So, sure, why not? Is basically the reasoning for that. Also, there is a Discord for it. So, I could probably talk to people there. And there's, YouTube channels, or a YouTube channel and probably more, that deal with a tutorial. As I'm sitting here, preparing this very recording, I realize that if I am going to learn anything based on how I learn, a very hands-on / visual kind of person, I'm going to have to watch their videos. Which means, now again, this is whole me streaming it because I want to be doing this for several hours because I'm going to be trying to document this over several hours every couple days a week or something. I hope I don't get striked because, it's one thing to be like, oh, I'm not going to be making any money on this. I don't care. That's fine. Doing it for the love of the game, really. What I am afraid of is if they decide we're just going to take down your videos because you're just playing our videos, which would not be inaccurate, but I guess it'd be transformative. I wouldn't be just sitting there streaming them. I'd be watching and then trying to do something. And maybe I'll jump into the deep end and just try to mess around in it and see what happens. But that's one of my main concerns for it is getting copyright striked by the people who uploaded those videos. Because it's like an official channel and they have a playlist of learning it, which is fine, which is great, actually. I really... I guess this is just the engine I want to go with because I've heard of it, and the second thing I am concerned of too is I made a whole new channel dedicated to this, and understandably / not understandably, YouTube will not allow you to immediately stream. You have to either submit your ID, not going to do that. Do something else. Oh, submit a 6-second video of you. Not going to do that. Or build a channel history, which I don't know how long that's going to take. So, any streams you are seeing will be on my casual channel, at least for now. Again, which is why I opened with, if I probably sent you this video to, let people know what I'm up to. So, and, the ones I want to know who I'm up to. which brings me into why I'm streaming it at all. Uh, One, it holds me accountable because it's something I got to do every day. You know, like when I come home from work, what I got to do is this project. I got to work on this. But even moreover, that is to document my progress and my growth as a game developer. Because again, that's what I want to do. So one way to learn from your past mistakes is have them immortalized on the internet, so everyone can point and laugh at you forever. Two, I already said two. Three, four. Next point. Is to beg for help. Um, Again, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is certainly something I have decided to undertake. Uh, I am. I already know. I'm going to flounder a lot. I'm just gonna hit brick walls, and maybe the tutorials are not gonna be able to help me. Um, I could Google stuff, but maybe if by whatever random chance a person just who also works in the Godot engine or has developed games before or whatever decides to reach out and be like, hey, this guy is documenting himself becoming a game dev. Like that's really cool. Maybe I should help this guy and be in his chat. I guess to build a makeshift tent community of people who want to develop games, or at least they're interested in developing games, and like this guy is just jumping into the deep end of game development. If he can do it, and not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, if he can do it, then I can do it. So maybe I can be inspired, you can be inspired, we all can be inspired. You know, I think that's really cool because, games are an art, and that very much so includes the process of making them. And so if I can pick up a couple tricks of the trade by people, passerbys, by that want to help, excellent. Excellent. That as a matter of fact, please, I'm gonna need help. Um, I mean, I'm worrying about, like, even right now, things coming to mind. I'm worrying about things that probably shouldn't worry about, like, what am I going to use for a character model? Even if there are placeholders, how do I get them in there? Am I going to have to learn Blender? Which, I have Blender, I've opened it, and it's the scariest fucking thing I have ever seen in my life. It's like staring death in the face on a bad hair day. But, or, death's bad hair day. What an odd analogy. But my point being is that I'm gonna need help, and let's be honest, I'm not gonna probably reach anyone. But if I do, that'd be really cool. That'd be really funny. Yeah, I'm thinking about music. Can I get a guy to compose it? I don't have money to pay anyone to do anything. I don't even have money to do my own thing, let alone paying someone to help me with this. But, just thinking of those things, you never know. I'm shooting my shot, essentially, with this whole project journey. So, but yeah, I want to hammer home that uh, the streams will take place on my regular casual channel. And I guess I should change the name again to Project Journey VODs? Maybe? I don't know. I'll get there when we get there. It's not really that important, but it will take place on my regular channels, and they will definitely end up on this new channel that I've got. So that way it can be organized there. I wonder how that's going to work, because, you can download videos directly from Studio, right? Either way, I'll figure that out off screen. That's not important. But, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm planning to do, is go down this absolutely frightening, daunting task of learning to be a game dev. So, yeah. I don't exactly have a schedule in mind. I'm gonna say Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm not entirely new to streaming. If you know how to look for me, you can find me. I am very ashamed of them because they're not very good. Same camera. I cleaned it. Worked wonders. It looks great. Um, but yeah, no. I'm super excited. Super nervous. Can't wait to make a fool of myself on the internet for everyone to see. But I also can't wait to hopefully inspire people. So I'm going to stop this recording. I have no idea if I'm going to take up the whole screen or if I'm going to shrink this video down and put gameplay that I have for free gameplay, just background stuff and whatever. Because, yeah, I think that's what I'll do. To friends and family, I hope to make you proud. I want to prove that my worth and I didn't waste my time there because I do have some programming, so maybe that'll help me. And to any strangers, tell your friends about me. Tell everybody because I'm going to need help. And I think it'd be cool that we all could learn something. And prove to the wider, bigger, corporatized factory press of gaming that one guy can still make something great. I mean, we all know indie games are great, but they tend to be better than most. I mean, look at the guy who made Lethal Company. Call of Duty had came out around the same time and it did way better than that, and got so famous he got a skin in Fortnite, so he's just set for life. He doesn't need anything. But I'm not expecting to reach that kind of fame. If I do, but I guess I just want to prove to myself I can do it. So that's pretty much about it. I don't know what gameplay I'm going to put up there. It's going to be random, I assure you. That's just totally my style. It's not going to match anything. It's okay. So can I pause it? Oh, I can. I didn't know that. I'm going to learn a whole bunch of new stuff. So, see ya.